When I was a very small boy, I had to memorize some fables by La Fontaine. My teacher also explained the moral of each story very carefully. One of the stories was The Ant and the Grasshopper. The lesson was simple. In this world, hard work is rewarded, laziness is punished. In the story, the ant works very hard all summer. She collects food and saves it for winter. The grasshopper does not work. He sits on a leaf and sings in the sunshine. He sings all day and all night. Then winter comes. The ant has plenty of food. She is warm and comfortable, but the grasshopper has nothing to eat. He goes to the ant and asks for some food. The ant asks him, "What did you do in the summer?" The grasshopper says, "I sang all day and all night." The ant replies, "You sang? Then go and dance." I was told this story to teach me a lesson, but as a child, I never fully agreed with it. Somehow, I did not feel happy about the ending. I felt sorry for the grasshopper. I liked him more than the ant. For some time, whenever I saw an ant, I stepped on it. It was my childish way of showing that I did not like the lesson. I did not like too much prudence and common sense. The other day, I remembered this story. I saw William Harper sitting alone in a restaurant. He looked very sad. He was staring into space. His face was full of worry. It seemed as if the whole world was on his shoulders. I felt sorry for him at once. I thought his unlucky brother had caused trouble again. I went up to him and shook his hand. "How are you?" I asked. "I am not very happy," he said. "Is it Daniel again?" I asked. He gave a deep sigh. "Yes," he said. "Is Daniel again? Why don't you leave him?" I said. "You have done everything for him. You know he will never change. Every family has one bad member. Daniel was the black sheep of the Harper family. For 20 years, he caused them pain. At first, Daniel lived a normal life. He started a business. He got married. He had 2 children. The Harpers were respectable people. They believed Daniel would have a good and honest career. But one day, everything changed. Daniel said he did not like work. He said he was not made for marriage. He only wanted to enjoy life. No one could change his mind. He left his wife. He left his office. He had some money. He traveled around the capitals of Europe. For 2 years, he lived happily. Sometimes his family heard stories about him. They were shocked by his behavior, but Daniel was having a very good time. His family wondered what would happen when his money finished. Soon, they learned the answer. Daniel began to borrow money. He was charming, but not honest. It was very hard to refuse him. He easily made new friends. He borrowed money from them. He said spending money on basic needs was boring. Spending money on luxuries was fun. For his luxuries, he depended on his brother William. Daniel did not try to charm William. It was useless. William was serious. He was not easily tempted. He was a respectable man. Sometimes William believed Daniel's promises. Daniel said he would change. He said he would start a new life. William gave him a lot of money. He hoped Daniel would improve. But Daniel did not change. He bought a motor car. He bought expensive jewelry. At last, William understood the truth. Daniel would never settle down. William decided to leave him alone. But Daniel was not ashamed. He began to blackmail his brother. William was a respected lawyer. One day, he saw Daniel making cocktails behind the bar of his favorite restaurant. Another day, he saw Daniel driving a taxi outside his club. It was not pleasant for William. Daniel said there was nothing wrong with such jobs. They were honest jobs. But he added something else. If William gave him a few £1,000s, he would stop working there. He would do it for the family's honor, and William paid. One day, Daniel almost went to prison. William was very upset. This time, Daniel had gone too far. He had always been careless and selfish, but he had never done anything illegal before. Now, he had cheated on a man. The man's name was David. David was angry and wanted revenge. He said Daniel was a scoundrel. He wanted to take him to court. If the case went to court, Daniel would surely be found guilty. William could not let his only brother go to jail. He worked very hard to settle the matter. It cost him a lot of trouble. It also cost him £5,000. Later, William heard shocking news. Daniel and David had gone to Monte Carlo together. They left as soon as they received the check. They spent a happy month there. For 20 years, Daniel lived this way. He raced horses, he gambled, he flirted with beautiful girls, he danced and enjoyed life. He ate in expensive restaurants, he dressed very well. He always looked neat and fresh. He was 46 years old, but he looked no older than 35. He was great fun to be with. You knew he was useless, still, you enjoyed his company. He was cheerful and lively, he had endless charm. He often borrowed money from me, but I never felt angry. When I gave him £100, I felt as if I owed him something instead. Daniel knew everyone. Everyone knew Daniel. You could not respect him, but you could not help liking him. Poor William, only a year older than Daniel, looked 60. He had worked hard all his life. For 25 years, he never took more than a 2-week holiday each year. He was always in his office from 9:30 in the morning until 6 in the evening. He was honest, hardworking, and responsible. He had a good wife. He had never been unfaithful, even in thought. He had 4 daughters. He was a loving and caring father. William saved 1/3 of his income. He planned to retire at 55. He wanted to live in a small house in the country. He would grow a garden and play golf. His life was perfect and disciplined. He was happy to be growing old. He thought about Daniel. Daniel was also getting older. William said to himself, it was easy for Daniel when he was young and good-looking, but he is only a year younger than me. In 4 years, he will be 50. Life will not be easy for him then. By the time I am 50, I will have £2 million. For 25 years, I have said, Daniel will end up in the gutter. Now, we will see who is better off, the one who works or the one who is lazy. Poor William, I felt sorry for him. As I sat next to him, I wondered what Daniel had done this time. William looked very upset. Do you know what has happened now? He asked. I feared the worst. I thought maybe Daniel had been arrested. William found it hard to speak. You must admit, he said, I have always been hardworking and honest. I have lived a decent and respectable life. I saved my money. Soon I will retire with a small but safe income. I have always done my duty. That is true, I said. And you must admit that Daniel has been lazy and useless. He has lived a wild and dishonest life. If there were justice, he would be in the poorhouse. That is also true, I said. William's face turned red with anger. A few weeks ago, he said, Daniel became engaged to a woman old enough to be his mother. Now, she has died. And she has left him everything. £10 million. A yacht. A house in London. And another house in the country. William hit the table with his fist. It is not fair, William said. It is not fair at all. It is really not fair. I could not control myself. I suddenly laughed loudly. When I saw William's angry face, I laughed even more. I rolled in my chair. I almost fell onto the floor. William never forgave me for laughing, but Daniel often invited me to dinner. He had a beautiful house in Mayfair. The dinners were always excellent. Sometimes he still borrows a little money from me, but that is only out of habit. It is never more than £1. So this is the story of William and Daniel. One brother worked hard all his life. The other only enjoyed himself. In the end, life did not go as expected. Sometimes, life is not fair. Sometimes, the ant does not win. This story makes us think. Is hard work always rewarded? Does luck change everything? You decide the lesson. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video. Subscribe to the channel for more easy English stories. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new lesson. Share this story with your friends. And tell me in the comments, who do you agree with, William or Daniel?